only reason I'm being rude is because I was booed by a waitress.
Freedom of speech, and so does she. So
freedom of speech? Is this? Okay. So I'm not welcome here just because this Maga hat.
said that. You were outside on the street.
Am I not welcome?
You're totally
I walked up with my friend
You're 100%
to have a drink and hang out, and then she just booed me.
I understand the situation.
Tell me who the owner is.
Gary Rack. It's on the sign outside.
What is it?
You can write a review.
Should I leave because of my MAGA hat, or can we just?
No, it's not because of the hat at all.
I'm pretty sure. Is it the hat? Because you're the one who booed me. Is it the hat?
You just want confrontation.
No. I walked into this restaurant. This lady is booing me as I'm walking in. What's your name? And you're the manager, right? Yeah. Okay. So how is this appropriate that a waitress can boo a guy walking into a restaurant?
That's not appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't agree with that.
And what is your name?
My name is Mike.
And this is a franchise? I got kicked out of this bar because I was wearing a MAGA hat.
Okay, so I literally was denied service at Taco Bell for wearing this hat right here. As you can see right here, it says never surrender on the side. Got the American flag, and then you got the Trump daddy at the top right there. I don't know what is going on, guys, but I should not get denied service at publicly available places just because of this.
Hey, you know that's a crime, right?
It's not
discrimination.
We have the right to refuse service here, and that's what we
Not
did.
due to political views, though.
Yeah, we're at Smoothie King, and they're discriminating and saying we cannot get service because Jake has a Trump service on. So
You were gonna leave, so please just have a great day and leave so we can continue doing like things.
we were just wanting a smoothie, and you literally looked at us, and I asked you if everything was okay. You said we don't feel comfortable serving you because of my husband's hoodie. That is discrimination.
Okay, well, have a great day.
I said Trump.
That has nothing to do with us wanting a smoothie.
Okay, but that's who you support. That's who you love.
You don't, but you don't own this. You don't own Smoothie King.
Good luck maintaining your appointment.
I don't care. Like,
What's embarrassing is that we're American citizens, and I wanted to get a smoothie.
Discrimination.
we have the right to refuse service here, and that's what we
Not
did.
due to political views, though.
You asked her what was wrong, and she said that she was gonna press it was right or wrong. You asked the question, she answered, have a great day. Have a great day. Call the police.
Wow.
Discrimination.
Yeah, I am going to call the police.
This is the first time I've ever done this, worn a red Trump hat at the bar. So I was a little, nervous. I want LGBTQ conservatives to come out of the closet and be seen and have these conversations with people. It's very important.
Stephen Barraza is no longer allowed to wear his red MAGA hat inside Sacramento's Badlands bar. Badlands posted their MAGA ban on social media, reading in part, recently a guest entered the bar wearing MAGA attire, which led to discomfort among some patrons. And moving forward, MAGA-related attire will not be allowed in the venue. Barraza took this photo of himself inside Badlands Friday night and believes Badlands' new rule is because of him. He says he was in the bar for an hour and he was the one made to feel uncomfortable.
There would be a couple people that say, oh, you don't belong in here. You should be ashamed of yourself for wearing that.
Barraza was in this group of log cabin Republicans, a political group representing LGBTQ conservatives. They were together for the California GOP convention.
This is discrimination, plain and simple.
Preston Romero is the Sacramento Log Cabin Republican president and was also at Badlands with Barraza.
President Trump has been one of the most outspoken supporters of the gay community.
MAGA voted against our community. Stay out of our safe space.
Brandon Harder says the Badlands MAGA ban is good and questions Log Cabin Republicans' policies on gay rights.
The jury's out on if they're actually a part of the community. When you vote against the rights of your own people.
MAGA doesn't realize that when they wear a symbol of MAGA, many people associate it with hate, division, racism, and bigotry. Not everyone is going to welcome you with open arms. They spent years cheering for policies that targeted others, but now they're shocked when they're facing social consequences themselves. The truth is that when you normalize discrimination, don't be surprised when the world responds with rejection.
Spending the rest of my life in Canada, and who knows if I'll ever even have the right to re-enter the United States at this point.
Okay. I'm laughing because that man's name is Chris Landry, and he is a chunky milk supporter who moved here from Canada at 4 years old, committed crime, left the country, and then tried to come back in. And they said, hey, girl.
come back or we will detain you. And you.
But keep in mind, this man is a chunky milk supporter who clearly said that anybody who is an immigrant here who has committed a crime has to get about the country and can't come back in.
I was definitely, all for Make America Great Again and having a strong, unified country.
And that's what you got. And your wife voted for it. The mother of your children voted for this. And because of that, it affected you. But the thing is, you thought it wasn't going to affect you. You thought you would have been safe. You thought you wouldn't be someone being affected. Just be grateful that you're not sitting in Alligator Alcatraz right now, or El Salvador, or one of the other detention centers where there are maggots in food, children fighting adults for clean water, no sanitation, no access to religion. Don't come out here crying and all sorry, like, oh, I may never get back into the United States of America. You didn't care about that was going to happen to the other people who didn't look like you. I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for you at all. Sounds like you kind of got what you deserved.
Oh no. It's being directed at me, bro. I'm getting sweaty words now.
A Pennsylvania school bus driver has resigned because the school district tried to tell him that he could not wear his Make America Great Again hat. And he's cleared. He said, look, if it wasn't for that, I'd still be driving a bus. With all the bus driver shortages, I'm surprised they made him step down. The students know him as Mr. Dave from Bus 73. This is in Pennsylvania. And he's done a great job, and the kids love him. And he says, but I'm not going to let them violate my free speech. I have a right to wear a hat that says Make America Great Again. Which part of that is offensive to you, Pennsylvania? The school district in Pennsylvania, I just want to, is it America? Is it great? I mean, what part of that statement bothers you? Well, I mean, obviously, it's just you're using your power over people to abuse them. And I hope everybody votes you out. School board members, everyone. Some people even elect their own superintendent. Vote them all out, buddy.
So Candace Owens, the far-right pro-Trump influencer, was just banned from entering New Zealand and got her visa denied by immigration officials who cite that the reason they're banning her is because Australia banned her a few weeks ago for posting anti-Semitic and racist conspiracies online and on her social media accounts. So this is very bad news for Candace Owens because she has several speaking engagements scheduled in both Australia and New Zealand, which she can no longer attend because she can no longer enter those countries. And as a result, she will be losing business, profits, and revenues, which in my opinion is the best way to punish these people for their racism and their anti-Semitism. It is by denying them financial opportunities to profiteer off their racism and anti-Semitism. So good job to New Zealand and a correct decision from their immigration officials. I hope more countries that have Candace Owens scheduled to speak in them follow suit.
What you're witnessing now is a powerful lesson in cause and effect. For many years, MAGA supporters embraced a movement that thrived on anger, resentment, and division. They mocked immigrants, dismissed racism, attacked marginalized groups, and often treated cruelty like entertainment. They wore the hat proudly as a badge of defiance, believing it represented patriotism, strength, and winning. But to millions of others, that same heart came to symbolize hostility, exclusion, intolerance, and a willingness to harm others for political gain. Now when they step into restaurants, stores, airports, and everyday spaces, expecting smiles and warm treatment, only to be met with discomfort, cold stares, or even outright refusal of services, In some cases, suddenly they feel unwelcome. Suddenly, they feel what it's like when people make assumptions about you based on what you represent, and many of them are angry about it. But where was that outrage when others were discriminated against? Where was that concern when immigrant families were demonized? Where was that empathy when minorities spoke about profiling, prejudice, and unequal treatment? Many voted out of fear and resentment, believing they were hurting other people. They thought the consequences would land somewhere else, on immigrants, on liberals, on minorities, and on communities they look down on. But hatred has a way of circling back. Division doesn't stay contained. When you support a culture of hostility, eventually hostility becomes normal. And this is why many are learning the hard way. They expected applause, solidarity, or maybe even status. But symbols matter. Symbols carry history, behavior, and meaning. A symbol becomes defined not only by what supporters claim it means, but by what it was done under it and who was hurt under it. If people saw racism excused, cruelty celebrated, and lies repeated under that banner, then that becomes part of the banner's meaning, whether supporters like it or not. It stopped being just a heart the moment it became tied to rhetoric against immigrants, dismissal of racial justice, attacks on democratic norms, and open contempt for anyone outside the movement. The lesson at the end of the day is this: hatred is expensive. It costs relationships, reputation, trust, and peace in communities. If you plant division, you should not expect unity to grow. So thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.